Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Been doing this for over 20 years and definitely appreciate you staying. It doesn't seem like it, does it, Ann? Oh, it started a long time ago. Started in Anniston, Alabama.
Yep.
And there was a television station that actually was in Jacksonville. And so got to start there. And so then moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Phil took a job promotion, took us there. And so I carried the show with me, moved back to Alabama, took the show again, moved back to South Carolina. And that's the neat thing about owning your own show. Wherever you live, there's the show. So that works out really, really good. You know, you can find us syndicated on Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find a podcast on thenewscasters.com. We still do all the social media sites, facebook.com/DFeazell, got a YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I've been kicked off of those channels. I wonder what's going on. I've got my I got in trouble a lot. I was in jail a lot, and I would call Ann Eubank and say, Ann, can you get me out of jail?
No, I'm right there with you.
And we were kind of like the next, we were cellmates together. And so, Ann Eubank, Alabama legislative Watchdogs. I don't call many people my very dear friend, but I do call Ann my dear friend.
Yeah,
and
we get in trouble.
Yeah, we do. So we're quite a force. I had to move out of Alabama because we were such a great force. So now you can handle Alabama. Yeah. I'll handle South Carolina. Although I've got to say, I live with a bunch of patriots here. I'm just telling you, nobody likes Lindsey Graham.
I don't understand how he keeps getting elected if nobody likes him. I just don't, it's the same thing with all these people that nobody likes in Alabama and they're still there. Mm-hmm. So I've been spending a lot of time. I was on Georgia War Room. I've been on there about 3 times. Georgia Underground has called me. I've been on there. They're having the same problems we are in Alabama with Innovate, data centers, gambling. I had my good friend Terry Sasseville call me yesterday. She said, Ann, I need somebody to talk to about the gambling. I said, well, you need to talk to Julia Cleveland because Julia Cleveland's our gambling. So I went to the Eagle Forum dinner last night as a Heritage Action representative and saw Julia there and connected them up. So, hey, we're all the way from Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. Now we just need somebody in North Carolina. And,
I've got you somebody. So this guy's name is Don Brown. He's an attorney in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a good friend of mine. He's running for U.S. Senate. And he is plowing it up. I'm just telling you, he's a conservative from way back. He's your contact.
Yeah, we need to, we need to all get together and coordinate our actions instead of being split. That's what happened to the Tea Party. Everybody had their own egos of being, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, and they never got together and consolidated the power that we had, and that was deliberate. I think we were infiltrated, and that's a long time ago, but I can see a resurgence now of people, and it started with COVID, people finding out what was truly going on in our schools, and then it just started rolling downhill from there. But we've got some problems that we need to handle across the states, not just in every single state. But yeah, I've just been everywhere. Florida. I was down in Fairhope, Alabama.
To Florida, I didn't know.
I've been trying. I don't think I'll ever get there, but I was in Fairhope, Alabama, not this past Monday, but the Monday before, at the city council. They had a debate, and Fairhope, the nickname is Fairhopia. They are so liberal. So I was up in the balcony because, I don't live in Fairhope, but I needed to be there because I have a lot of contacts down there. And I was watching those liberals talk about innovative development, sustainable buildings. You know, they weren't talking about the illegals that were caught. They weren't talking about the 68 county thing down there where the development. They weren't talking about the terrible school problems with the corruption in the schools and everything that's going on. No, that's not. They were talking about the library and those terrible books, and how dare those radicals complain about books in the library. So I was up in the balcony just shaking my head. All but one were reelected, and one conservative somehow, and I don't know how, Dan Gammon, Gammon, was actually elected. He's a conservative. So Fairhope is not going to be changing anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't. I wanted to mention something about the schools. Okay,
Yeah.
So we live in Abbeville, South Carolina. We go to church in Abbeville, South Carolina, and we love this church. They have a private school.
Uh-huh.
I had to take my son out of the school system in Alabama because I didn't like the thoughts of him bringing a calculator to math class. This was in the 1990s. You know that story. And because when I was back in my old day, if you brought a Texas Instrument calculator to school, you could get expelled. So my thoughts were, he's bringing a calculator to cheat in school? Well, Donna, that's the way it is now. Well, I got mad and I took him out of school and put him in a private school. What I've noticed about the students who go to this private school is how, people want to say, oh, those kids are indoctrinated. Those kids walk around like zombies. No, they're free thinkers.
Yeah.
They can actually know how to open a door and close it. You don't have to tell them how. They actually say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. They say things like this. In church, they're very reverent. They're not tearing things up. I'm just noticing a difference between kids who go to a private school or better homeschooled versus the kids who are in the regular school system.
Well, it's worse now. They just passed a law here, of course. I don't know if you've heard. The kids can't take their cell phones to school anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. If they take them to school, they have to put them in. They cannot. They go in the locker and they can't come out during the day at all. So that has presented the problem that because our schools have already started using AI, and have shut down critical thinking because AI does it for you, and they were using their phones to do it, is become a big problem. But then, a lot of them have their Chromebooks, and I'm not real sure. Can you go online with your Chromebook and use AI?
Yeah.
So
unless they've got something in the Chromebook, some kind of something in that book, I don't know. Because I know that you can, because Phil had one.
Yeah. So now they've come out with, AI is destroying the critical thinking of our children. And without the telephone.
People who are writing books, it's not their own merit that they're writing a book. They're coming up with some words. They throw it into AI, and AI writes it for them, but they get credit of writing the book. Is that fair?
Nope, that's not fair. It's I don't know how the teachers are going to know, because my daughter used it on her resume, and I was looking at it and I'm like, well, this sounds just like you. It sounds like things that you would say or write, but it put it in a proper whatever. I've used it on legislative bills where a 40-page bill that I was about to walk into a meeting, I said, I need a summary of this bill. And in 15 seconds, I had it. So, and it was very easy just to go through, and it picked up the stuff that I would have picked up, which is always,
that's amazing, because someday that's not going to happen.
Right.
Someday somebody's going to get in there and they're going to put keywords or something, or take away keywords, and you and I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right. So, I mean, when I read a bill, I'm always looking between the lines, because I know that's how they write them. They write them so that may, shall, will, they have certain meanings, and it's according to which word you use, whether it applies, or, how bad is it going to get. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is little words like may,
I
shall.
say this. Okay, you remember a few weeks ago, and it was like a screenshot of you, and it really looked like you were talking. I mean, it really did.
Oh.
Do you remember that, when that stuff? But I knew it wasn't you. First of all, the head was only, the mouth was moving. Your head was doing this. So somebody took a screenshot of you, and they were trying to fool me, I guess, that it was you. But this is when I knew it wasn't you, okay? Because you're like me, you're always busy. And every time you've ever called me, you've only had 1 minute to talk to me. Donna, I've got to do this, blah, 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 blah. Well, I knew it wasn't you, because the person was, hey, girl. And I'm like, look, I don't, and I said, Phil, I don't think this is really Ann, because Ann is always in such a hurry. She's always got somewhere she's got to go, and she wouldn't take the time to go, hey, girl.
Well, I wouldn't do hey, girl, anyway. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't do a good job, because I saw completely through that. And you remember, I tried to, and I'm thinking, did somebody hijacked her Facebook? What's happened? And I finally found your phone number, and then I called you, and then you said, yes, I've shut all that down.
Yeah, I had to shut out my Facebook, my Messenger, and I really haven't gone back on yet, because
they didn't do a good job on your end.
And I still have people walk up to me saying, I can't believe that what happened to you. And I'm like, it was 1,000 people that they got hit.
I'm surprised something had worse than happened to you, because I'm just telling you, you're in it to win it. And
I know.
Got your thoughts, and
I was surprised it had not happened before.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was talking to somebody in Georgia, they said, well, you've got to get back on Twitter. And I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. That's where the national press is. And we need your voice, because you have
agree with that. I agree.
And I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. It was a nightmare. If you've never been hijacked or somebody taken over your Facebook, it's a nightmare. Not only is it a nightmare personally, it's a nightmare to get it shut down.
Yeah.
It's like, it's easy to do it, but you can't undo it.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I mean, but anyway, yeah, right off the bat, you never go, hey, girl.
No, I don't.
So it's like, and so it was real, and it was really fuzzy too. They didn't have it. Like today, they could probably do it and it'd be a little bit more like you. But I'm just saying, and this was just a couple of months ago. What was it?
Right.
Sometime.
Yeah. AI is extremely dangerous. And I don't know how we're going to control it, because it's going to cause a lot of big problems. And every day they take another step forward and another step forward. Mm-hmm. So, well, what we have in Chat GPT, or, any of the other just easy programs, is nothing compared to what they actually have. Well, once they unleash that.
Yes, too. Somehow thugs always wind up with the best. Right. I mean, they always do, and the rest of us are out here scrambling, trying to find something to combat them with. But I'll have to tell you, I encourage everybody to take their mothers or their dads or whatever elderly parents, take the phone away from them, because mother kept talking to strange men on the internet.
Oh,
And she's given money away. She's done that. So I just had to take the phone away from her. And so I talked to, we're with Verizon. And I said, it's turned into a mess. And I said, she keeps talking to these people. And I said, what can I do? You have to pay for something. It's kind of like you would put on a teenager's phone or something. Yeah. And so her suggestion was just to take the apps off. And I said, you don't understand. My mother is very savvy. She'll figure out a way to put the apps right back on it again. I mean, she will figure. So anyway, I'm having to monitor. But I'm talking, it's dangerous because there's millions of dollars that are being taken away from people. Mm-hmm. And this is another thing I find fascinating. They go by the same playbook. I think it's part of organized crime. I think our government may even be in on this because it always winds up somebody's either in the military, they're a medical doctor, they're always somebody pretty high up in the echelon, and their wife is dead. It's always something that she died of cancer. And I even looked at Phil and I said, Phil, who would want their husband to join or their spouse to join the military? Because they're all dead. Their spouse dies. He's in combat and he makes it through combat, but the spouse dies.
Yeah, I used to get those all the time, friend request, and my thing with friend request is I have to go figure out who you are, and I would click on the picture and it would be like maybe 2 or 3 posts, a birthday or something or the other, so you would automatically know. And they're always good looking. And they're always on a boat. You know, I've got a boat or a place.
Always pictures of just them and their dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just click delete, block, report. So listen, if you want to be my friend, yeah. But like I said, I'm not back on Facebook yet, so I'm not worried about it.
But I can't get it. Okay, so they get you in because I love babies and I love dogs and cats and stuff like that. So now you're seeing, I used to love to watch the Golden Girls television show. Have you seen the ones where the babies are dressed and they look like the 4 women who are on the Golden Girls? Have you seen it? Oh my God, I got to somehow get you some clips of They are hilarious. And these babies, they look like they're like 18 months old or something. And they'd use the AI to do their faces and everything with the same reactions. I mean, they're hilarious. They're funny. But I'm amazed at how good it is.
Yeah. A lot of false kidnapping phone calls because the voices they can take. Because, you and I both are on YouTube, whatever, out there in the internet, and they can use any of our words and string them together. And because we talk a lot, we talk about different things, and I
can't see them using our words because our words are not going to be like for liberals. I mean,
well, that's true.
Yeah, but you could still manipulate a mouth, and and the expression, like on these babies. The expression really looks like these people on the Golden Girls. I mean, it's just amazing.
My favorite one is Elon Musk and Trump and what's the other? One of the other guys. Cash Patel dancing to the
Staying Alive.
I love that. I love that.
All over the place with it. I mean, I think it is so funny.
I do. I love it. And I keep trying to do the dance, I can't move like that anymore. I used to move like that. I can't do it anymore.
Well, there's another one out now with Donald Trump and, Cracker Barrel's episode where they take.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, they're dancing and they're on the label. I mean, it's funny. I didn't go back, by the way, and take the
Cracker Barrel figured out that go woke, go broke, but now they've backed up after they lost 12% of their stock price in one day. Mm-hmm. So I can't believe how stupid that.
question. Oh, okay, because you and I have been in business for a long time, and we know how people are and all this. Okay, so let's just say you and I are board of directors, and this chick comes in, she's from out of nowhere, and she decides she wants to get rid of the old dude. Wouldn't you and I would have probably raised our hands, going, "Hold it." This, people come to Cracker Barrel to relive what their grandparents did.
Mhm.
That's why people went. So I'm just telling you, the past few years, I've not been for the food because the food is just terrible now. And really, the logo didn't have any impression on me at all. I didn't care. They changed it because I wasn't going back anyway. But why do people have such an uproar on that when the food has been pathetic for years?
Well, the last time I ate at Cracker Barrel, well, not the last time, the time before last, I got food poisoning. So I said, I'm not eating at Cracker Barrel anymore. It was one of them in Tennessee. And then the actual last time I ate at Cracker Barrel, I was on Ted Cruz's bus tour, and all the young people wanted to stop there, and and I'm like, okay, I'll get a grilled cheese. You can't get food poisoning on grilled cheese. So I don't eat at Cracker Barrel, but Cracker Barrel is branded as an old-fashioned store with old-fashioned food. Mm-hmm. They have a certain market segment that their brand is designated towards, and she comes in and switches it and expects what? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. And even had vegan food
at Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
Okay, the people who like grease gravy on their biscuits. That's
hello.
I don't. I'm country as they come, but I don't want grease gravy. But anyway, grease gravy, I don't know if you know what grease gravy is.
Oh, I do. You remember I was raised in the country.
So the grease, the drippings from your sauce, your bacon.
You flour to it. And you
put coffee on it.
Yeah, I got it.
Biscuit in it. Yeah, it's just full of cholesterol. But anyway, and then a lot of people, my grandparents loved it. Yeah. I mean, and so that was a way, that they ate. But the whole point being is you have to check out and see who the biggest stockholders are. You know who the biggest stockholders are, don't you? You need to check it out. BlackRock's one of them.
Well, BlackRock owns everything, and if BlackRock doesn't own it, Vanguard does. But then Vanguard and BlackRock own each other, so
you got both of them. They own stuff.
Max is barking at something.
It doesn't matter. We love him.
Somebody dared to move outside, I guess. I don't know. That's what he's here for.
Well, you're going to hear my dog probably just any minute. The leaves are falling already in the trees, and he finds that fascinating that a leaf falls from a tree.
Yeah, we have the same problem. What's going on? I mean, I know it's the end of August, but why are the leaves falling?
We've had such a dry summer. It's been really weird. We've either had too much rain or not enough. Yeah. And so this is kind of unusual for South Carolina. And another thing to say about South Carolina is South Carolina has short springs, but they have long falls.
Oh.
I might like that.
So did y'all get any of the whatever that hurricane's name was? Did y'all have any?
I mean, not near as bad as it was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
In which I know I sound like crazy old Donna here. Okay, I remember in school hearing the differences between hurricanes and tornadoes. It's like a tornado's sporadic. I mean, a tornado can jump over one town, then go plow another one down, and then go get the next town and plow it down, and then jump over another. That's called a tornado. Hurricanes, basically, once they hit landfall, they lose it, and they will finally have it jump over Atlanta and go into, I'm sorry, crazy old Donna here. But how did it jump over Atlanta and plow through Asheville, North Carolina?
Oh, do we want, wait a minute, is it Conspiracy Theory Thursday yet?
I'm a nut, yeah.
No, and you are not a nut. There's a lot of people who are actually investigating that, Lahaina, Malibu, and all of the strange weather things that are happening.
Hawaii is another.
Yeah, Hawaii, the volcanoes on the Ring of Fire that are hitting right now. The strange, why all of a sudden is the Atlantic warm enough to have a Cat 5 sitting out in the middle of the Atlantic with that cold water? And that's what happened. But we all know that they are manipulating the weather. They've been doing it since 1950. And they've just enhanced it and developed it, and it's just gotten to the point where they can direct what they want to direct. And yeah, I'm sorry if people think we're crazy. Go look it up.
Whatever, because some of the things we've said have happened anyway. Yep. So just 10 miles up the road from me, in the past 3 weeks, we've had 3 earthquakes. And it's totally unheard of. I mean, I've not felt it here. But some people have felt it. I've not felt it. Now, when we lived in Alabama, Fort Payne was a fault line right there.
Right.
And we could feel some of those.
Yeah. And that same Appalachian came down to Birmingham and the Ruffner Mountain was the end of that Appalachian fault. And my house happened to be there. And I woke up one night, bounced out of bed, and my husband's a fireman, and he was at work. And I thought, what in the world was that? I mean, it was that strong. Uh-huh. And so I called the fire station. I said, did we just have an explosion or something that would rock the house? And he's like, Ann, go back to sleep, because it was late. And all of a sudden, while I was talking to him, all of the sirens and the bells started going off behind him. And he's like, wait a minute. So they started talking about the earthquake, and he's like, we just had an earthquake. And I'm like, oh, what? This is Alabama. We don't have but we did. We had, because of that fault line, because I lived right at the end of it. And it rocked my house. Yeah.
Well, it's beginning to be pretty numerous here as well. But yeah, there are things that are happening. But here's my take on it. I got a couple of takes on this. Okay, so if a bomb have so many earthquakes, okay, let's just have a whole bunch of them so that people are just used to hearing that sound. Like wear a mask, those kinds of things. So let's just have a whole bunch of earthquakes just happening just all over the country. And then when someone does drop a bomb on the United States, they're going to think, it was just one of those little earthquakes.
We won't have a bomb. We'll have an EMP. An EMP, and you'll know. Well, I'll know and you'll know. There will be people who won't figure it out for a while.
No, it's just one of those earthquakes.
When your car stops and the power goes out, and there's none of your phones work and all your electronics are dead, and you're walking around going, what the heck happened? The people who understand what an EMP is will know what happens, and then they'll be prepared. I don't think they'll ever drop a bomb. I think it'll be an EMP, because that will destroy the infrastructure and not kill the people. Mm-hmm. So
a friend of mine, Ron Foster, lives off the land. And he's from Alabama. He's written several books. As a matter of fact, I'll go into a commercial break in a few minutes and I'll show you some of his books. So he's written one about what to do when the grid goes down. Now, he's been laughed at. He's been made fun of. He's been this and he's been that. I'm just going to have to tell you, this is one of the smartest human beings, other than Ann, that I have ever met.
I am not totally prepared for it, but I'm about 75% prepared for it.
I'm ready. There are things you can eat And now I'm so excited. I'll let him know every time so we bought this mini farm here. The lady who lived here was an avid gardener. I am finding so many treasures here, Ann. There's an American beautyberry plant that you can eat the berries and you can make jam out of it. I've done it several times. But did you know the leaves? You can get the leaves. They have this kind of a film texture over the leaves. You can dry them. You can use it. You don't dry them. You don't have to do it. What you can do is just get the leaves and cut them up in pieces, put them in a jar, put rubbing alcohol in that jar. You've got something that'll get rid of insects without DEET. There's so many things that we can do. First of all, you'll save a ton of money doing this. Now, it takes a little time to make it. Basically, it's just time. You put it in a jar, forget about it for 3 months, and you've got this awesome stuff that you can use to get rid of mosquitoes.
Well, I know in his book he has got to have the one where you put the garlic, the onion, and the vinegar and something else to make basically penicillin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I make my own vinegar.
Yeah. I learned how to have my little garden just as an experiment to see, can I do this? Well, yeah, I can.
You can.
And I've learned how to can, and I've learned how to cook over an open fire, and I've learned how to make bread. So
that's amazing because I know the corporate Ann. The corporate Ann making bread. Wow.
Yeah, it's my daughter's like, she just shakes her head like, okay. But yeah, because, it's like I tell people, just like you tell people, if you know what we know, you have to be prepared.
You'd be doing that if you absolutely knew. Vinegar is so easy to make. Yeah. I don't throw apple peel away. I don't even throw the core away. Yeah. All you can do is just take these things, put them in a jar and put water in it, put sugar in it, and it almost like turns into a beer before it turns into a vinegar. And we take this vinegar every single morning, and I've never felt healthier.
Well, I've quit eating processed foods with the exception of my Coca-Cola. Yeah. I can't give up my Cokes. I'm sorry. I know it's bad. I know Coca-Cola corporate is bad, but there's just some things you got to have.
Go Pepsi.
I used to drink Pepsi, and I don't. It's not the same.
I think they're owned by the same conglomerate. And I've been laughed at about this. Okay, but think about this. Okay, I've seen commercials where it has Coke and Pepsi in it. Why else would you do that unless you own both companies?
Well, everything is owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, and
anyway,
I can't remember the third one. Oh Lord, I tell people, I had 50 people walk up to me last night. Where have you been? We haven't seen you. I said, I took the summer off because I just hit a wall. I was like, I have got to have some downtime. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, you better get back in it. It's an election year. And I'm thinking, oh no. I actually had one lady running for Congress for the House asked me, come run my campaign. I'm like, no, the only person I'll come out of retirement for running campaigns is Tim James. If he decides to run again, I'll come out and help. I'll run his campaign. But that's the only one. I'm not doing that again.
Let's go into a commercial break. I want to talk Alabama politics when we come back. I want to hear the juicy, good, like the real stuff.
Okay.
Well, I know you're going to give me the real stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at TwinCityUsedCars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of the Cobb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
That's just plain cool. That's new. When did you get that?
Months ago. It's been a while since you've been on the air.
Yeah. I told you I took the summer off.
I know. You told me you were going to do it, but I have definitely missed you. And I told Phil, I said, it's election time. She's going to be back in. She'll come back on the podcast.
I'll do the whole watchdog thing, but I'm not going to be involved in any campaigns.
Yeah, but we can be on the show and talk about it. Now, Ann is my hero. Okay, I've got another hero. His name is his name is Ron Foster, and he has written several books, but I've got 5 of them. This is the one I was telling you about. You can find it on Amazon. It's called The Longest Walk. Now, this is Atlanta, right here, and of course, you know Atlanta. Even without chaos, it's chaos. But anyway, he has written this, and it's about when the grid goes down. And so it gives you some tips on how to survive. Again, it's Ron Foster, The Longest Yard. He has written more books. The Apocalyptic Apothecary, right here. This juicy tidbit, this one, you got to get that one. The Bug Out Gardening Guide. We do have some good bugs. There's some nasty ones, but we got some good ones too. It tells you who the good ones are. Martha's Home for Wayward Preppers. Now, this is a small book with lots of great information in it. Diary of a Kudzu Salesman is this one right here. And my favorite, and you'll love this one, Old Farts Survival Guide.
That's the one I want.
This is full of great information right here. So Ron Foster, go check him out. Amazon.com, Ron Foster. You'll be happy that you did, because even if you city folk, and by the way, he's from L.A., lower Alabama, lower part of Alabama, and lives, has his own place, and he's out in the woods, and this guy lives it. And so I've learned so many things from him. First time he was on the show, he doesn't like to be made fun of, so he doesn't really like media people, period. So he comes on the show and he's like this. at me, just staring at me, and I'm going, how am I going to get this guy to loosen up? And then I started talking about making vinegar, and then he goes from this to, how do you do it? They just want to see if I did it the way he does it.
Right.
So it's like every time he's on the show, I get so much juicy tidbits. So you have to really, really go back and watch these shows. It's just like you're watching Ann's show. Okay, enough said about Ron. Okay, and their Alabama politics is like, I've lived in 3 different states, and I'll have to tell you, Alabama can be the nastiest. To be the place where God lays his head every night. It is the nastiest. People will say they are a particular way and they're nowhere near it. And then you find out about it after they get in office.
Yeah, you know, my favorite thing to say is we must redefine what a Christian conservative is.
Can we?
Because all of these guys or gals, they get up on the stage and they're talking to your people and they're saying, oh, I go to Albertville First Baptist, and I'm a deacon and I teach Sunday school and I'm a Christian conservative and I've been married to the same woman for 40 years and our kids, are all great and wonderful. And then they get in office and they vote for gambling.
I'm kind of not understanding that.
Or they vote for Innovate programs. There's nothing but the UN and the World Economic Forum because they're getting a lot of money. Somebody's paying them money. And you're saying, well, wait, if you are a Christian conservative, aren't you supposed to be doing what's best for the people, not the gambling interests, not the globalist interest? What are you thinking?
If you're a Christian conservative, my number one thought is that you're actually going to go by God's 10 commandments and God's guidelines. That's what I'm going to figure you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because you should be a sellout for God and I'm not the most religious person you've ever met, but I love Jesus. Yeah. But I don't like the religious aspect where people come in and say, I'm religious, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then when they get in, they're total polar opposites of what they say they are.
Well, I am a warrior. And I get up every morning on my full armor and pick up my sword. And I go after these Christian conservatives. Gambling is not my issue. Abortion is not my issue. I have a lot. Education is my issue. These guys know, and these ladies know, that Common Core has turned our children into good little socialists and is destroying this country, but they refuse to stop it because of the money. They refuse to stop.
But Ann, it's for the children, Ann.
Yeah, right. They refuse to stop the transgender ideology and the LGBTQ 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, whatever.
Now, yeah.
Knowing. They know it. But as Christian conservatives, they ain't doing nothing about it. Now, that's kind of where I'm at. And I could go down the lane with all sorts of issues, innovate, workforce, nothing but socialist programs. And they know it. They have to know it. But they're Christian conservatives.
There are telltale signs, Ann, and you know those signs. Okay, so you can watch somebody while they're and be nice about it. Don't be like dogmatic. But what I mean is you can ask questions. But one of the answers that I don't like is, Donna, Jesus loves everybody. Or Donna, it's for the children. Donna, don't you love the children?
It's for the children.
I got to mention this. Okay, so in the state of Alabama, within the state of Alabama, there are several cities and there are several mayors who have made a boatload of money on their rented properties that they're making a killing off of these. You love children? Okay, what about the children that there are 5 families living in a shack somewhere and there are little kids all over the place that they're shacks?
Right.
Don't you love those children? put them up in a better house if you're going to do that.
I just read an article that came out of the Alabama Department of Education that our students have made considerable progress in their test scores in the state testing. 60% are now proficient in ELA, 40-something% in science, 35% in math. We spend $17 billion, and they think that's good. We're moving up. 30-something% of our kids can do math. What happened to the others?
Percentage that with all that money?
I mean, what is going on? And they think that's great and wonderful. No, you cannot be a Christian conservative and not do something about what's going on in our schools.
All right, there's a thing, and I learned this from grammar school, actually. Now, this is back in the olden days when I went to school, okay? And there was a thing called the ROI. It's called the return on investment.
Yes, I'm familiar with the ROI.
You know what this is, but let's educate folks what that is. Okay, what that means is, let's say you start a business. You're not being funded by the government. You're not part of the United Way, nothing like that. You're actually in a business to make a profit. Otherwise, why would you mess with it? Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's in Donna Fazel language. Okay. So let's say I'm going to start out. I've got $100,000 I want to start a business with, but I use like most of that on fine furniture instead of maybe some of the things I need, like computers, things
product.
like that. But, I got to have the product to sell my widget. Okay, I got to have those in stock, because if people, I mean, this is like, instant now. I mean, it's instant gratification, instant everything. So if I buy a widget from you, I want it in the mail tomorrow. Okay, if I buy it from Amazon and it doesn't come in 2 weeks, I'm going to say there's a problem. Okay. Then you're going to have that person telling 50,000 other people that, they'll get the word out there for you that you're not because you spent all of your money on product. I mean, on buying furniture and whatever stupid, wasteful stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The return on investment means the money I put into it, I make a profit. Hopefully I've always made money the first year because I didn't have to go get the finest furniture. I go to the Goodwill and get stuff that I can get by with and just fix it up. And you can do things like that. Some things you got to have. You got to have the best computer now. I admit that. Some things you have to have. But the point being is, okay, I have a house. It's a rundown house. Okay, I'm renting it out to illegals. I've not spent a dime on it. You got a pretty darn good return on investment there if the government is funding you extra money because you're letting an illegal live there, 10 families of illegals, instead of people in your own neighborhood.
Yeah. So that's happening in Albertville. The Albertville mayor, who is right in the middle of that, was reelected. It's happening in Sylacauga. The Sylacauga mayor and 3 of the city councilmen are right in the middle of that. They were all reelected yesterday. Coleman, the Coleman mayor was reelected, but they got some new council people. And 2 people from Coleman who are conservatives were in special elections yesterday to go to the legislature. Mm-hmm. One of them was Cindy Myricks, and I talked with her last night. Seems to be a nice lady. We'll find out how she votes, which is always the deal. I don't care what they say. I want to know how you voted. And so the same people that are committing this heinous act with these illegals coming into our cities, and Biden brought them in, and Trump's trying to get them out as fast as he can, but it ain't fast enough, people. I mean, we have 10 million people who aren't supposed to be here. It's probably more like 20. And we're lucky if we got 1 million out so far. So these people are getting rich off of these poor illegals coming in. The government is paying them 3 and 4 times the amount of money that you or I would pay to rent the same lousy building. And we keep sending the same people back. I think that's the definition of insanity. So I don't know what we're going to do. And everybody knows it. So why do we continue doing it?
Do you know the voter turnout yesterday was pathetic?
Well, here in Hoover, I think it was like 25% because of the mayor's race, Brocado and Dursis. Brocado's a nice guy, but he covered up $30 million missing out of the Department of Revenue, along with John Lyda, who was president of the city council. John Lyda was smart enough not to run again, but Brocado wouldn't give it up, and he ran again, and he got soundly beat. So we've got, there was 25%, but nobody goes. Well, I walked in, I vote here in Bluff Park, and I was number 500 at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock, I was on my way to the Eagle Forum dinner to represent the Heritage Action. And at 5 o'clock, I was number 500. There are 6,000 people in that box. But other boxes got a whole bunch. But there's a lot of Democrats in Bluff Park. So maybe they just didn't see the point in going to vote. I hope they do that next time.
Okay. So why is it important to vote? Because most people just vote during the presidential election. They don't vote. And to me, it's as important to have people in your backyard vote the people in that are the right people for that job, because they are actually your community.
Right. So let me give you an example. When Trump was elected this last time, the globalists from the UN and the World Economic Forum and all of the NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, knew that Trump was going to cut off federal dollars. They knew they couldn't go back into Washington, D.C. and get what they had been getting. So what they did was they bypassed Washington, D.C., came straight to the states and straight to the local county commissions and the city councils with all of this workforce and innovation money that they had to give, which comes from BlackRock and Vanguard and all those people and George Soros, who isn't running it anymore. Alexander Soros is running it, and he's even crazier than his daddy. So all of those globalist sustainability, Green New Deal people are now in the state, county, and cities. And they've come in to do the whole Agenda 2030, make your cities 15-minute cities. And, I could talk for hours on this crap. But the people on the city councils and the county commissions are the ones who vote. And the mayors and the attorney generals, the sheriffs, they're the ones who either allow this to come in and destroy your communities and make you do stupid stuff on your private property.
I've got a question for you. Okay, so I just got a question for you.
Okay.
So
sorry, that was windy.
Let's just say you're the mayor. Okay.
Yeah.
You're actually going to know when illegals are coming in by the bus loads. Are you going to know ahead of time before they come in? So you could conceivably have the authority to say, no, that's not happening in my town.
Right. Which is actually what happened in Hoover. They knew that they wanted to drop some off in Hoover, and because of the Amazon, I'm gonna kill her. Sorry. I'm online. Bye. Sorry. She will not give up if you'll have to cut this out. So, I'll go back to the question.
It doesn't just happen overnight and the mayor doesn't know, right?
It does not happen overnight.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So, let's just say I'm the dumb mayor that knows this is happening and I let it happen in my town, and you're the next town over and you're the mayor. Are you not going to have a long talk with me because you're going to be afraid that some of that's going to come into your town?
Well, if you look at Childersburg and Sylacauga, or Albertville and Boaz,
and Geraldine,
follow the money. Follow the money. So is that person going to go and say, I don't want those people in my neighborhood? They're going to cost in the schools. They're going to cost, the medical. Everything is going to cost money, and you're getting the money and I'm not.
I rock it. I know you. If I were the dumb mayor that said, yeah, I'm going to let it happen, you would be at my throat.
Actually, I would be at your throat, and I would be standing on the courthouse steps with about 50 media people around me talking about it.
And I wanted you too. And if you lost your ever-living mind, you know what's going to happen? First of all, your crime rate is going to go up. Then it's going to bleed over into my town.
Well, look what's happening to New York. They're even allowing illegals to vote in that New York election. And they're going to elect Mondami. And he's a dead guy. He's not a socialist. He's a communist. A flat-out communist. I don't understand what they're thinking.
I don't get it either. Well, okay. Then if you want your because New York, I used to love to go to New York on business trips. This is when Giuliani was in. It was actually fun. You could go all hours of a bunch of us couldn't sleep. We'd all get together and say, let's go get some coffee. And we would do that. We'd go get some coffee and it felt safe. But that was many, many moons ago. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Well, look at what happened to D.C. when Trump brought in the National Guard. I had somebody tell me last night who spends a lot of time in D.C., I can actually wear my jewelry on the street now. I mean, before, you have to take it off because somebody's going to knock you over the head to take it from you.
Well, Mother wanted to go to New York. She'd never been to New York.
I've never been to New York. My daughter says, don't go. You won't like it.
Well, Mother is flashy. She's got like a diamond on every finger and all this stuff, And I said, take the rings off. And she said, well, we're just going on a trip. And I said, Mother, take the rings off. Somebody will cut your fingers off on the street out there. Yeah. That's how bad it is. And take your nice jewelry.
About 5 years ago, I got to where I didn't even take my jewelry when I went into D.C. No, you don't. You just don't. And when I travel, I don't carry any of my good jewelry.
I don't either. And I'm so used to traveling like that even now I don't wear much. I just don't do it. We got to call it today. I cannot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, hang around. We're going to get you set up for next month. And
okay.
You're take no for an answer. Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna with Donna's Edge Television Talk Show on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And you can also find the podcast on the Newscasters. See you next time.
Bye.